Okay, in last session we discussed about how to identify a dimension table and a fact table. It all depends on your requirement. At the end, if you see the bottom part, if it all depends on your requirement. A dimension table is generally a master table or the one which is having textual information, but the same table can be used as fact if the requirement demands. Okay, in the same way for the fact table. Now, in this session, we are gonna define and design. We are going to design dimensions and fact tables. If you remember, in second session we discussed, right, the first part is setting the connection to the data source. Once the connection is set, the second part is you have to identify the tables. What are all the tables that are required for your analysis purpose? So we have done it, identifying. And the third one is identifying in the sense creating the data source view, right? Once the identification is done, identification of the tables that are required for your analysis service project, then the next step is identifying which one is a dimension table and which one is a fact table as per your requirement. So that we have done in last session. And what is the next one? Identifying the columns that are required for your group by statement. Hope you remember that, which we discussed, right? So first, identify. Correct me if my spelling is wrong. I'm poor in these spellings. Data source, we have done that. Next, tables or views that are required. And third one, which is dimension or fact table, right? So next one is, as I said, SSAS project is nothing but collection of group by statements. So in group by statements, you will have two information. One is dimension related columns and another one is fact related columns. So you have to identify what are all the columns that are required from the dimension table and also from the fact table. So in other words, we call it as creating dimensions and creating measure groups or fact tables. Sorry, measure groups. Let's see one by one. First, let's see how to create dimensions and then we can discuss about creating the measure groups. So if you go to the Solution Explorer, generally people, they have given cubes as the third folder, but the best practice is going for the dimension creation. So let me right click on the same and click on new dimension. So when you click on new dimension, the welcome wizard opens. Click on next. There are many options like use an existing table. It's pure English, you can easily understand. Use an existing table means use an existing table that is selected in the data source view, right? And generate a timetable in the data source and generate a timetable on the server and generate a non-timetable in the data source. If you observe, second option, third option and fourth option will help you in generating the table, in designing the table. If you don't know how to design a timetable and if you don't know what are all the columns that are required for a basic account table or basic there are so many options. Let me show you that. It will help you in creating or in providing the columns that are required for creating account table, customer table, date template. All these are templates. Template is nothing but a sample copy. It will tell you if you want to create a date table. If you select this date template, it will tell you what are the minimum columns that are required to create this and what are all the column options you can go for. If you see customer table, what we will think of? First name, last name, middle name and so on. Instead of thinking if you go for customer template, it will give you the suggestions. It will tell you what are the columns. If you see, customers should have, one second, dimension attributes. Here you can see city, date of birth date, customer birth date, state, country, postal code, customer and so on. You can see address, company, customer group, customer household, full name, address, homeowner, commute distance and so on. It is giving you suggestions what all you can have as part of the customer table. And if you take some date template, okay, it will give you what all the columns that you can have for a date. It grouped all the possible columns that are required for creating the date dimension here. If you see physical quarter of the year, regular, and trimester, 10 days, week, hour, minute, and you'll have some 40 columns for like this. Is holiday, is weekday, is working day, day of the 10 days, day of quarter, day of trimester, day of half year. So if you see all the possibilities, it will give you complete picture. Even you can see ISO 8601 year, ISO week, ISO day. So if you are designing any table and if you are not getting what columns I can add as part of this table, you can make use of these templates. If you go for geography, generally what geography covers? Geography covers region, country, continent, and so on. You can see room, floor, facts, building, house, city, blah, 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 and all those information. Let's go for some other table which is not common. If you go for scenario template, I've never seen this. Let's see what it will be. Scenario and version, I think they meant, sorry. So it will give you hint what columns needs to be. So for now, for the next couple of sessions, let's stick to the use an existing table. And once you become familiar with the dimension creation and as well as measure group creation, then we can revisit the remaining three options, right? Generate a timetable in the data source, in the server, and in non-timetable in the data source. We will revisit these three options. Most of the cases, 99% of the cases, you will be using the first option, unless and until if you don't know how to design a table and if the table is not available in your data source. Generally, when you are working on SSIS project, SSIS team already should have finished loading the data into the data source tables. So if any table is not defined, let's say timetable, then you can make use of these three options, else these are useless. Okay, I'll explain you, then you will easily understand. Now let me click on next. I'm gonna use the existing table, and if you see, I'll be having hundreds of tables. Why? Because I selected so many tables in my data source view. So first let me go here and clean up the sheet here. So I will remove all the unwanted tables and I'll have only few tables. Let me remove everything. As I told, I'll take dim product and I'll take its related tables. This is fine for now. Okay, everything is clean. Let me arrange it now. Should look good. Okay, fine. Prods, dim product, I don't need these two named queries. Let me remove this one. Okay, now let me go to the create dimension. Use an existing table, click on next. It will list all the tables that you have selected, added to the data source view. Now you have four tables. Which one will be your dimension table among these four? If my requirement is color wise sales, that's the requirement, a simple requirement. Let's go based on some requirements now. The first requirement is color wise sales. What I have to do? What I have to pick as my dimension here? Cool, I got correct answer in most of the cases, but Ravi, how come it will be color? So dim product is my dimension table, and if you see, for every dimension table there should be a primary key. As I told you, most of the master table acts as a dimension tables. Why? Because it needs a unique column to identify each row. It needs a unique column. What column provides uniqueness in the database tables generally? It's the primary key column. If you select primary key column, if you have primary key column, automatically it will be selected under the key columns. That means this is the key column, this is the primary key column. Okay, and name column, I will explain you about the name column in later part of the session. Click on next, and it is saying it has some related tables. That means it has some relationship with other tables, that is dim product subcategory. Do you want to include the same in this particular dimension? But I don't want, so I'm checking it. I'll show you that example also. Now these are all the attributes, these are all the columns that are present in my dimension table, that is dim product. So what I have to select now to meet my requirements? My requirement is to see display the sales based on color. So I just need color. So click on next, and dim product DBO, I don't want the name, I'll name it as products. Click on finish. If you see, this is the key column and this is the foreign key column with the other table, so it will be included. You can remove it if you don't want, and color is added. So this is how you have to create a dimension. A dimension is created. That's it, nothing else to do. Now, what is the next part of my requirement? I want to see color wise sales. So what I have to do for getting the sales? Sales belongs to measure group or dimension. So where I have to add the measure group? Here using the in the same dimension or somewhere else? I'll show you that. So measure groups are the measures or metrics. All these names belongs to only one type of data, that is transaction data. So measure groups will be added in the cube. So if you go to the cube, okay, and what you have to do is you can use an existing tables option, but better go for create an empty cube always. Remember, okay, I'll explain you that. So click on next. What is the data source view you are gonna use to create this cube? I'm gonna use AdventureWorks DW. Click on next. This is the cube name. Fine with this. Finish. Now this is the empty cube. You have so many menus on top. So many tabs, not menus. And you have measure groups here. Can you see the measure groups option and the dimensions option? You created one dimension here. Okay. And now the next job is to create the measure group. So right click, I want a measure. Measure means one particular column in the measure group table, that is fact table. So click on new measure. What is your measure group table here? It is fact internet sales. So let me select the fact internet sales, and in this, what is the column that I want? If I select this fact internet sales, you can, if you observe, all the integer and decimal columns are loaded here, not the remaining columns. The reason is metrics should be always integer. Most of the cases it will be integers, right? Here, what is my requirement? My requirement is to show sales amount. So here it is the sales amount. If I click on OK, you can see a measure group is added. Under that measure group, a measure is added. Measure is nothing but column in the measure group. And now both are done. The measure group is added and the measure is added, and the same way dimension is added and the dimension attribute is added. Okay. Now, is it done or do I need to do anything here? If you see here, the dimension is added to the dimension folder, but the same should be used or added into the dimension section if you want to use as part of this cube. So if I select this, then done, it is completed. So these dimensions, whatever you create under the dimension folder, will be common for all the cubes. Common for all the cubes in the sense, I can have one more cube here. It's not that only you can have one cube per solution. You can have more than one cube. So click on next, next, next and finish. See, in this cube you can use this dimension, and in this cube also you can use this dimension. So that is why there is a separate folder for creating dimensions, and once the dimension is created, you have to add the dimension in your cube if you want to make use of it. Now it is done. If I process it, oops, I have used this ID, right? So let me give the password. Don't worry much about what is meant by process and all. You will come to know very shortly. So this is processed successfully. Now there is a browser option to check whether the data is coming correctly or not. If you go to the browser here, under measures, you can see fact internet sales measure group. Under that, sales amount. If you drag and drop, it will give you the total sales amount. And if you go for product, you have color. If you drag and drop color, it will give you color wise sales. Is this the requirement we set or anything else? So this is the requirement. Now let me explain a couple of terms here so that you will become you will feel comfortable. You will have master table here, right? And you will have fact transaction table. This is your transaction, and this is your master table. Okay. Yeah, I'll come to that, Ravi. So master table will have columns and transaction table will have columns, and there will be relationship between these two, right? So master table will create dimension, and the columns in that dimension we call it as attributes. Attributes means the columns in the dimension. One column in the dimension table is called as one attribute. In the same way, transaction table we call it as measure groups, and columns in that is called as measures. So transaction table, using transaction table we create measure groups, and each and every column whatever we were adding as part of the measure group we call it as measures. In the same way, master table we create dimension using master tables, and the each column in the dimension we call as attributes. Now in this example, what is attribute and what is measure? The color is attribute. Why? Because it is the column of a dimension table, and sales amount is the measure. Why? Because it is the column of a measure group table. Now this is your dimension, right? The requirement changed. Now I want now the user want to see product wise sales. What you can do? English product name will be there, right? You want to see product wise what is the sales. What you have to do now? The earlier requirement was color wise sales. The user want to see color wise sales. Now he want to see product wise sales. Okay. English product name as dimension is bullshit thing. English product name is a column. How can it be a dimension? Dimension can be created using table, whereas attribute can be created using column. So this is the English product name. This is what user want to see. Drag and drop it. This is added here. If it is added here, then automatically it will reflect in your cube also if you process it. Let me process it again. So what we have done, we just drag and drop the attribute, one English product name into the section. Now I processed it, and let me reconnect. You have to reconnect. You can see English product name. Just drag and drop it here. You can see color wise products in that sales amount split up, automatically splitting. If you remove this, it will be color wise sales. Extremely sorry guys. If you add this, it is product name wise sales. If you remove this, it will be just product name wise sales. If you add this color here, it will be product wise what color it is and what is the sales. So if you see so many options here, right? You can play with the data. It is not so easy to write SQL queries to get the data like this. And if you want to see it in columns, drag and drop in the columns. It will split based on the column and row. So this is the advantage of creating the cube. You can play with the data. You can pivot it, you can unpivot it, you can see however you wish to see. If you want to see only black color products, drag and drop this into filter field, and you can select only black. So it will remove all the remaining fields and all the remaining products. So this is how SSIS cube works, and this is why people love to work on SSIS, and mainly analysts who is analyzing the business, and who is the main reason managers, senior managers, they want to see the reports pointing to SSIS cube where they can play with the data. And if you observe here, the measures, this section drop totals or detail fields here. That means measures, metrics. So this section is to drop only metrics, and columns and rows you can add attributes. Columns, rows, filters. Now I dragged English product name to columns. See how the data is showing. If I put it here, it is showing only black. Why? Because I filtered only black. Now let me select everything. It will show everything. Right? However you want to, you can do that. Yeah, very close to similar to pivot in Excel, but better than pivot in Excel. I mean, I love to play using this compared to pivot in Excel. Okay. Now you should, I hope you are familiar with the terms dimension and measure group now, and how to create a dimension and measure group. Let me show you how to create dimensions. Like I'm gonna create 5 to 10 dimensions in short period of time. Like let me right click, new dimension, use existing table, and I want to create dimension for DIM product category. Click on next. I want to have English product subcategory name. Click on next, and I'll name it as subcategory. Finish. A dimension is created, but that will not be available in Cube browser here until you add it to the dimension section of the Cube. So if I add it here, now if I process it, I'll get that dimension into my Cube. Sorry, let me process it. And if I reconnect it now, once process is successful, you can see subcategory is added, right? And like similar to that, you can add a number of dimensions. Now I created one dimension using product, right? And I can create one more dimension using product again, the same table. But here I'm gonna use the related table also. This is the related table. That means these two are having relationship. It is giving us suggestions. I'm adding both. Let me add all the attributes. Click on next and click on finish. If you see, I have both the tables here. I'm using both the tables and to create one dimension instead of two dimensions. Okay. Here I created one dimension for products. Here I created one dimension for subcategory. But in this dimension, I used columns from both the tables. That means it will apply join internally. It will apply join and it will fetch the data from both the tables, all the columns. And you can see the same, all the columns are added here. You can find English product subcategory name and English product name. So that means columns from both the tables. The disadvantage of going for this combined one, two tables joining to one dimension is, let's say you have a cube which wants DIM product. And let's say you have one other cube in the same solution which wants DIM product subcategory information. So what is the problem? So in both the cubes you have to add all the attributes, right? It is of no use to do that. So the performance will be very poor. I'll demonstrate. I'll show you that. Let's say I'm creating one more cube. I'm naming it as subcategory. I want subcategory information in this cube. So what I have to do? I can do it in two ways. The first thing is I have a separate dimension for subcategory. I can add it, or I have a subcategory information in DIM product DBO also, right? In the same way, the other cube I want product information. I can use products, which is a separate dimension, or I can use a dimension which is created combining both the tables, product and subcategory. And if I use the second one, this product to subcategory, unnecessarily I am pulling all these measures that I don't want from the subcategory table. In the same way, in this cube, I'm gonna pull all the unnecessary columns data. I'm gonna process all this data which is not required for this cube. So that is why it's always better. It depends on the requirement. You can go with a single dimension if the tables are having join, else you can go for separate dimensions. So this might be confusing. Why? Because this is first time, right? Here there will be so many questions like why two cubes? It is depend on requirement. They will maintain one measure group here. One data source may have many fact tables. Fact internet sales, fact reseller sales. In the same, if you go for advertisement, they'll have media radio advertisements in one fact table, paper advertisements in another fact table, and TV advertisements in another fact table. So for every fact table, they will define different cubes. It all depends on the requirement. So better I'll do one thing. I'll delete this guy and I'll delete this one so that I'll explain you the same stuff once you become familiar with the dimension creation and measure group creation. Okay. Now let's go back to the definition of the cube. Definition, the shortest technical definition is cube is nothing but dimensions and measure groups and the relationship between these two. If you don't relate these two, then it is junk. It is of no use. It is not going to help you. I'll tell you. I'll explain you in SQL terms and then I'll come back to this definition here. So dim product is our dimension table, right? I'm taking select star from dim product. I'm bringing wrong database. Let me go to AdventureWorks. Okay. And what is our fact table? Select star from fact internet sales. Now you want to see color wise sales. That is your requirement. Okay. How you will do? Select color, comma, count of star from dim product. Sorry, sum of sales amount. I'm extremely sorry. Sum of sales amount from dim product. So you are saying this is your dimension table. Fact internet sales group by color. So is this query correct? Will it return any result? So what is the problem in the query? So let's say I said cube is nothing but dimension table and the fact table and the relationship between these two, right? If you take dim product, this is your dimension table. If you take fact internet sales, this is your measure group table. And if you take these columns, whatever you have given here, these columns are nothing but attributes here and measures here. And the relationship between these two is nothing but giving the relationship between these two tables. Let's say join in this case, right? You have to give join to make two tables join here. In the same way, you have to use some relationship, okay, to join this dimension with this measure group, right? In the same way, the second dimension with this measure group. Agree? But if you observe, without giving relationship, I have not given any relationship. What I have done? First step, I created a dimension with one attribute color. And second step, I created a measure group with one measure. And where is the relationship? I have not given the relationship, right? So the relationship, even though I have not given, it was automatically set, and the relationship needs to be given here in the dimension usage. This tab is for giving the relationship between dimension and the measure group. If you have 100 measure groups, it will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continuously 100 measure groups will be there. If let's assume generally that many won't be there, only 2 to 3 max. So let's say this is one measure group. This is one measure group. Like that it will go. Okay. In the same way, dimensions will be in the rows. For every dimension to every measure group, there will be a cell, relative cell. And here there will be one cell joining this measure group with the dimension. Understood? Just like you have seen here, this dimension is going to join with this fact table based on the condition you are going to give here. Join type you are going to give here. This is the place where you are going to give relationship. But if you see for product, it is already set. And if you keep your mouse on, you can see the relationship, each type is regular, and attribute, product key, attribute, product key. It is giving you some information. How? Based on what it has set the relationship. And if you see this measure group, this dimension to this measure group, there is no relationship set. Okay? So what we have discussed is we created dimensions, we created measure groups, and we added all those stuff into one cube. Here this is the measure group and this is the dimensions which I have added to this cube. Now the relationship part we are discussing, and the relationship is automatically set for one dimension and the one fact measure group table, but the other one is not set. And what will happen if the relationship is not set? Let's see that first. In this case, the subcategory and the fact table is not related. Agree? The dark one means it's not related. The gray color one. So what will happen if the relationship is not set? First, let's see that, and then let's concentrate on how to give the relationships. So this is the measure group table, which is not having relationship with subcategory. If I drag any item from subcategory, can you see what data it is displaying? Can you see what is the problem here? So it is duplicating the same output, right? This is because it don't know on what it has to join. We're not providing. We're saying that these two are not related. This dimension is not related with this measure group, and hence it will display data like this. So if you have data like this, then what analysis you are going to do? It is shear waste, right? Bike shorts, it is giving same amount. Bike racks, it is giving same amount. And if I come to you, if I ask you what is the sales of brakes, can you give that information to me by seeing this cube? It is not possible. Why? Because the data is not proper. The data is not proper here, right? Properly displaying. So this is useless data. Why? Because these two tables, this dimension and the measure group is not related. Now let me set the relationship. You don't worry much. We will have a separate session for setting the relationship. It is very important one. If you don't have relationship, it's like junk. Okay. So let me give the relationships here, and let me process the dimension now. Earlier there was no, process the cube. Earlier there was no relationships and it was showing some nonsense, some junk. Now I have related this dimension with the measure group. Now let me go here and reconnect it. Is it better? The one what you are seeing now? Will it make any sense? So the relationship is heart of the cube. If you don't provide the relationship between the dimension and the measure group, then it's of no use creating the dimension and the measure group. Okay. So if you see the color, if I select any one color, automatically the relationships will be set for everything. If I select black, then it will show only black color one. Right now I'm taking product. So it will take each subcategory wise what are all the products. And if I take color on top, it will be color to subcategory to product. Right? Under multicolor, we have two types of subcategories. One under caps, we have only one product. Under jerseys, we have these products, and you can see each of different size L, M, S, and XL. And in the same way, under red color, we have helmets. That is sport 100 helmet bike. Under road bikes, we have so many bikes. You can see red color, road 150, red 44, 48, 52. So this is how you can play. Now let me drag this guy here. So under multicolor, for AWC logo cap product, it has only data for cap subcategory. Why? Because this product belongs to cap subcategory. So this is how you can play with the data. So just I'm pulling this here into the columns, and now I'm pulling this here before the product. So it will be first grouped into black. Under black, it will show all the products. Now under blue, all the products. Under multi, all the products. And now let me drag this guy also in between color and English product name. You can see under black you will get all the subcategories. Under subcategories you will get all the relevant products. So is it not a cool tool to play with the data? However you want to see, whatever data you want to see, you can just play with it. You can drag, drop, you can place. Now here product is first. If I move this product to back, it will show all the products, and under that it will show categories. And if I set the color in the middle, it will give the color here and the categories here. If I say drag here, it will be like this. If I drag product to the middle, it will be like this. Color to the middle. Under bike racks, it comes in NA color and it has these products. Under caps, it is multicolor. We have only. Under helmets, we have black, blue, red color. Under that, you have these products. So like this, the person who is analyzing the market or business, they can play with the data if they have a tool like this in their hands, right? So that is why SSA has got a good boom in market from last couple of years. And if you see, SSAs will not play. SSAs, what we are saying is, we are the person, the developer will decide what are all the attributes that needs to be added and what are all the measures or measure group that needs to be added as part of the cube design, and based on the requirements given by the user, and we will provide this complete cube to the business and they will play with it. Or what they will do is they will connect to Excel from this cube and they will play with the data in the Excel, or they will ask us to generate SSRS reports or Cognos reports on top of this data. It will be easy for them to, the performance will be good if they point to cube database like this, right? Which improves the performance obviously. So that is why they love to point to SSAS databases. Now if you see, in this session we discussed about how to create dimensions and how to create an empty cube and how to create a measure group and how to see the data in the browser. Now let's see how to add or remove an attribute from a dimension. Let's say I don't want this guy. For example, let's say I don't want English product name. Just select that, click on delete. It will ask you whether you want to delete this or not. Then prompt say yes, it will be deleted. And if you want to add, let's say you want to add all this stuff, select everything, drag and drop here, everything will be added. And once you add this stuff, then you need to process it. Once you add or modify something to the data, to the database dimensions, then you need to process to reflect the changes that you have done. Okay. I'm processing it, done. Now let me reconnect. If I reconnect, you can see the new attributes. Now let's play with the new attributes. Size in unit measure. I don't know what it is gonna give, but if I drag something, it will not give error for sure. Here you can see everything is blank, so it will be blank on top and LB on next to that. Under LB you have these 3 subcategories. Under blank you have so many subcategories. Blank means weight unit measure code is not available for that. And in the same way, let me drag French name. This is the French name of the products, right? If you don't understand what is the French name given by this guy, then what you can do is you can drag English product name next to that. Each and every French name will have one English product name, right? So this is how Casque Sport 100 Noir means Sport Helmet 100 Black. And if you drag and drop here, it will be like this. This means, sorry, blank means AWC logo cap something. They don't have name for AWC logo cap. That's why it is blank. And this means there will be somewhere in the value will be somewhere here. Let me check that. Can you see how beautifully that pivot table is created here and how many options it is providing for you to play with the data. Okay, let me add French, let me delete this guy, and let me take standard cost of each product. So the standard cost of this one is 13.0 something. Let me drag the standard cost before this French product name so that it will categorize. Okay, this is the standard cost of this. This is the standard cost of these 4 products. Okay, like this you can analyze. If you have a tool like this, then they will analyze as per their requirement. Whatever they want to see, they will go further. Is it clear? Okay, we discussed about how to create dimensions, how to create cubes, and we have not discussed about how to give the relationship between these two. Okay, in tomorrow's session we will discuss about all this stuff. Why? Because it needs one dedicated session to discuss about the relationship. In this session, we have 10 more minutes to close this. I'll explain about process, which we will be doing very frequently. Now I have done 10 times, right? Till now I have done 10 times. Processing of the cube. What is meant by processing and what is meant by deploying and what is meant by building the solution. We are going to discuss about these three topics now. First, let's see what is build and where you find all these options. If you right click here, you can see build, deploy and process, three options. So the build means it will go and check for syntax errors. If there is any error, then it will throw error here. Else it will show build succeed. Can you see on the bottom where my cursor is? So the build is succeeded. That means there is no errors or there is no syntax errors. The build is successful. What is meant by syntax error? For example, if you see this is the products table, and from the product table I'm using French, English or some dimension, some attributes in the dimension, right? Now let's say if I remove any one column that is used in the dimension. So how can I remove one column? I want to remove English product name to demonstrate that, to demonstrate the syntax errors. How can I do that? I want to remove English product name. Can anyone tell me how can I remove this? That's an awesome answer, Kranti. So convert it into named query. It will be converted to named query and delete or uncheck the English product name. Okay. Now there is no English product name in my base table or the table that is present in the data source view. But if you see here, I have English product name used as an attribute, and you can already see the red color one, the key column that is missing the reference. It is not available in the data source view, man. And I can't see beyond data source view. Whatever is available in the data source view, I can make use of it. So go and add it. That is what the meaning of this error message. Now if I try to build a solution, it will say there is an error, build failed. So building means it will check for syntax errors. So to fix this, what I have to do? I have to go and add the column, or if I don't want this at all, I can delete it. One second. Deleted. Now if I build a solution, it will just check for the syntax errors and it is successful. You can see here. So build, in the sense it will go and check for syntax errors. The next option is deploy. If you click on deploy, it says deploy started, right? On the where my cursor is, you can see, if you observe, if you see, it is saying deploy succeeded now. So deploy means it will take the structural changes. Okay, whatever the cube design, whatever the design is here, whatever the attribute, data sources, whatever the data source views, whatever the cubes, whatever the dimensions you have added, everything will be taken to the server and it will deploy the skeleton there. Just structure. It will take and deploy the structure whatever you defined here. And if you ask me where it is gonna go and deploy the structure, the server name and the name of the database will be available under properties option. You can see under deployment, it will be deployed into the local host and with the name of the database SSAS training batch 12. And local host, if you want to deploy to some other server in the same network, provide the server name here and it will go and deploy into the particular server. Now, if you observe, deploy means it will just take the structure, that means a skeleton of the design, whatever you have defined here for the project, and nothing else. And the third option is process. If you process, you click on OK, what it will do is it will check whether the skeleton is deployed or not, and it will pull the data from the data source and push it into the skeleton. It will fill the skeleton with the data. Okay. Once the data is filled, then only it is available for browsing. That means that the cube is ready only when you process the cube. And if you observe here, this is the measure group. If you see, it is saying 60,398 records have been read. Right? And if you see the dimensions, it is saying each dimension 239 distinct records, 607 distinct, 339 distinct values, 3 distinct records. So it will read the data. When you process, when you click on process, then it will read the data from your SQL server or any database which you are pointing to, or from which the tables are being used in these dimensions and cubes creation, and it will push the data into your analysis server. Now let me show you in a pictorial representation to make it easy to understand. This is your data source. Let's say SQL Server, okay? This is your SSAS solution, and this is your analysis server. This analysis server information you have given in right click on properties. There were deployment, right? Localhost. That means the server name. The server name is localhost. Now, if I click on build, if I select build, it will go and check all the syntax errors in the solution, and it will list if there is any syntax errors. So the build option is related to the project or the solution that you have created. Deploy means there will be some structure, right? Structure in the sense the AdventureWorks, one data source view and 2 dimensions and 1 cube, and this cube has 1 measure group and 1 dimension again added. All those things are called structure of the cube. The structure of the cube will be taken and deployed into your server. In other words, the skeleton of the project, only skeleton. And if you click on process, it will come here, it will pull the data and it will push the data into the skeleton which is deployed in the server, right? So once the data is pushed into the analysis services, then only it will be available to view the data. So if you click on build, it will only build the project. If you click on deploy, it will build the project and it deploys the project. If you click on process, it builds the project, it deploys the project, and it processes the data. It's a incremental one. If you just click on build, it will just check for syntax errors. If you click on deploy, if it has to deploy, then what it has to check first? There should not be any errors. So it will check for the errors. If no errors, then it will go on deploy the skeleton in the analysis services. And if you click on process, it will build, it will check for errors first. No errors, then it will go and check, deploy the solution. If once it is deployed, then it will process the data. That means read the data from SQL Server or any relational database and pushes into the analysis services. So I want to demonstrate an example here, okay, so that it will be easy for you. Now, I explain in the best way I can, the best way possible. But to make it more better, I'll show you an example. Now this is my SQL Server. I don't want this. Let me disconnect. Let me connect to analysis services. And this is my project. Let me have it with the same name. Okay. Now I want to deploy a project with a new name, and the name is SSAS project. That is what I want to deploy with. So what I have to do is I have to provide the server information and the database information in the properties. So this is the server information where it has to go and deploy and with what name it has to deploy. My requirement is SSAS project. So I've given this, okay. Now let me recheck whether I've given it properly or not. Correct. Now I'm clicking on build. Build is succeeded. I'll go on refresh here and see whether it is available or not. It is not available. Why? Because build will check only for syntax errors. Now let me deploy. Deploy started, and deployment succeeded. I think this guy is cheating me. This guy is processing also. Let me see. Okay. Now deployment succeeded. So if I click on refresh in the server, the project is deployed. That means the skeleton is deployed here, right? And if I select the project here, just 1 second, let me connect it. So if you just deploy, then it should not take you to this window. It will say the cube is just deployed, it is yet to be processed. So go on process it. Once you click on process, then it will come here. it will come here and the data should be visible. You should be able to browse the data. I'll do one thing. I'm adding couple of other measures, other attributes. Let's say Thai description, and I'm just deploying the project. Okay, right click and deploy. See, it is processing everything, man. Every time it is processing. It was not like this earlier. Now they made it as processing option also available. So if I go on connect here, it is available. It should be available here under products, Thai description. So see, if you observe here, it is deploying as well as processing also. So that is the problem. Generally, if you deploy, it should only deploy the structure, and hence it will throw error when you try to read the data. Why? Because the data will be read as part of the processing option, process option. When you click on process, then it will do that. And this is happening from 2008 only. In 2005, it was working fine. Only deploy means deploy, process means process. From 2008 and 2008 R2, if you go for deploy also, it is process. Okay. Now, this is the difference between these three items. Build will build the solution, and that means check for syntax errors. Deploy means deploying the structure of the cube to the solution to the server, and process means reading the data from your relational database and pushing it into the analysis services. Okay, before we conclude the session, today we discussed about how to create dimensions and how to create measure groups, and relationships we have not discussed, and we will discuss about the relationships in tomorrow's session, full relationship. And we also discussed about build, process and deploy. These three terms are very important. People will be assigning tasks like go and build the project, and if you go and process it instead of building, then you are gone. Sometimes they'll go and ask you to process the cube. You have to know where to go and process the cube. So it is very important to know the concept. So don't treat this as a simple concept. And let me conclude this, end this session with the assignment. Take AdventureWorks database, create a data source, add 8 dimension tables and 2 measure group tables, 2 fact tables. 8 dimensions I want and 2 fact tables I want, and create 8 dimensions, okay, and 2 measure groups. Okay, process the cube and send the backup of the cube to me. Is it clear, or do you want me to repeat? Take AdventureWorks, take in that create a data source pointing to AdventureWorks, create a data source view with 8 dimension tables and 2 measure group tables, 2 measure groups, create 2 measure groups and 8 dimensions, and process the cube and send the cube backup to me. I'll restore and I'll check. Is it clear? So if you observe, the cube is processed and we are able to see the data. That means the SSIS project is ready. We are done with SSIS project. This is the base level of SSIS project. And there will be 2 parts in SSIS project. One is designing dimensions, measure groups and the relationships. And the second one is creating calculations. The first part which I have done, it will be similar to what I have done today, what I have showed you, explained you today. And the first part can be done for any complex project. You can finish it in a matter of 5 to 10 days hardly. But the remaining stuff, you have to spend a lot of time in calculations. That's the time taking one in SSIS projects. Okay. So you are halfway through the SSIS session, right? So finish the assignment and send the backup files. I want backup files. I don't want the complete solution. Deploy it, process it, go to the SQL Server Management Studio, take the backup and send the backup file to me. I'll restore and I'll check the same. And that's it for today's session, and I'll catch you with relationships in tomorrow's session. Thank you and have a nice day. Good night, guys.